Okay, this song we're going to be looking at is called Underwood. This tuning is pretty much the same as Devil's Day in terms of it's going to be in drop D tuning, so we're going to be dropping the E string down to a whole tone to D. So, but I won't be tuning up for any of the solo section. I'll just be leaving it as it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play to the backing track and do the rhythm under the main solo, so you can kind of see what I'm doing rhythmically, and then afterwards we'll break it down, and then after that I'll play the solo over the main rhythm, and then we'll break that down and have a look at it. So I'm just going to get on and play the rhythm section for you now so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, the first part of the rhythm section we're going to look at is the main riff before going into the main solo. This riff features earlier on in the song, about a minute from the beginning, and it just then brings in the main melody. But I've decided to kind of use this again to introduce the solo. So I'm going to play it for you slow, and then I'll talk you through it. Okay, this main riff is going to be focused around the 12th fret on the E string, which has been tuned down to D, so it's going to be D sounding. So the first part of the lick is just going to be kind of like pedal toning off of the open D, and we're going to be playing frets 12, 13, 10, 12, 13 again, and fret 16 as well. So we're going to have open D, then we're going to have, so we're going to have open D, 12th fret, open D, 13th fret, open D, 10th fret, open D. So it'll be, then the next three notes will be 12, open D, 13, open D, and then 10. So we'll have, sorry, we won't have an open D after the 12, we'll just literally go from 12 to 10 on that last bit. So let me just play the whole first part of the riff for you. Okay, all the notes that we're playing, the fretted notes, which are 12, 13 and 10, they're all picked just with a single downstroke. And then apart from the last one where you're playing 10 to 12, you'll pick both those notes. But all the other ones, you'll just pick the fretted notes and pull off to the open D. Okay, so we're going to play pretty much the same idea again, but instead of going down to the 10th fret on the D string, or low E string, however you want to look at it, we'll be going up to fret 16. So and then you'll just play fret 16 3 times. So let me just play that again for you. And then you just repeat the first section, which we've just done. And and then you'll play it again as if you were going to play the second part of the riff, but instead of going up to fret 16, we're going to go open D and then first fret. So it should sound like this. So we got open D, 12, pull off to open D, 13, pull off to open D, 10, pull off to open D, and then we've got like 4 down, up, down, up. So we've got like down, up, down, up. So we play the first fret on the E string 4 times. And then we'll go around and play the riff again. So it should sound like this. And then we play that whole section again, so it should sound like this. And then on the last bit, it's just a descending run, so we're going to play 10, 12 on the E string, then the open string, 10, 8, then the open D, 8, 7, open D, 7, 5, then open D, then 5, 3, and then open D. Or you play that as a chord, so it'll be like that. So let me just play the whole riff again for you slow so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, that first part of the riff is over a half-time fill. So in keeping with that, we're going to move to the next section of the rhythm, which is usually more chord ideas. So let me just play through the second part of this rhythm breakdown, and then we'll break it down. So we're just going to be concentrating on the bottom 2 strings, the D and the A, and we're just going to play an ascending run first of all, using chords. So we're going to play the open D, then we're just going to be taking, like, one finger if you like. We'll be using mainly sort of like your first finger, but you can use your third finger as well, and just sort of all you're doing is barring the bottom 2 strings on whichever fret. So we're just going to play open, then 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, then 3rd fret, open, 3rd fret, 5th fret, so it'll be... Okay, so let me just play that whole section again for you. Then we're just going to be playing 3 chords from the 8th fret, 10th fret, and the 12th fret. So we're going to tag that onto the end of the first bit that we've already done. So. And then to tail off the whole lick, you've just got a quite heavy palm muted bit, just using like the open D chord, and it should sound like this. Okay, let me just play that for you again. Okay, it's all downstrokes, and it's just using the D and the A together, so. And then you start the whole thing again. This riff section goes around at least 4 times, so let me just play it for you in its entirety. Okay, in the middle of that rhythm part, it's also important to make sure that those the 3rd fret, open string, the 3rd fret, 5th fret is palm muted. So the first 4 chords are open, then it's palm muted, then the next 3 chords are open, then the last bit's palm muted. So you can really hear the dynamics between kind of almost like an open and closed hi-hat. If you've got like a closed hi-hat on a drum kit, you know, it's very tight sounding, and then when you open it up, it's obviously a lot more trashy and a lot more open. It's kind of the same thing with this, so you're kind of tightening and loosening your rhythm hand, you know, to palm mute and then not palm mute. So let me just play it again, but bear that in mind. Okay, it doesn't really matter how hard you palm mute because you're picking quite hard anyway, you know, to get that real kind of heavy sort of chugging sound. Okay, right, so we're going to move on to the last part of the rhythm section. And it's going to start with, these are more held chords now, so it's going to go up to the 8th fret, and we're just going to play that chord and just hold it. Then we're going to go down to the 3rd fret. With these chords, actually, you can add the 9th in there as well. So, you know, we'll normally, if you were just going to play the chord on its own, you'd play just on its own. But you can add the 9th to the chord as well. It just adds a bit more kind of, makes it sound bigger, basically. Okay, so we're just going to be playing, holding the chord at the 8th fret. Then moving down to the 3rd fret. Then moving up to 7th fret, then moving up to the 8th fret, then palm mute, and you're just going to be chugging on the 7th fret. Okay, so let me just play through that chord progression again, and then I'll play the whole rhythm section for you slow. So let me just play that last section for you again. Okay, now I'm going to play the rhythm section for you to 2 BPM settings. One will be 100 BPM and the next one will be 120, just so you can hear the backing on its own to a click and see how it sounds. So I'm just going to play that now for you. The first one's going to be 100 BPM. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to play the rhythm section a bit quicker for you now at 120 BPM.